Hey guys, how's everybody doing tonight? Let's see, tonight I wanted to do a video talking about maintenance and repairs for your pickup truck and having an emergency fund set aside to deal with unexpected expenses that come up with repairing your pickup truck that you'll be hauling your truck camper around with. And I'm only talking specifically about truck campers and pickup trucks in this video. I'm not talking about other types of RVs. So this is going to be specific to truck campers. So like a couple of years ago on my Dodge truck, when I had my old camper, I was set out to take a trip, and I took the truck into the dealership to have the automatic transmission serviced. And I was expecting everything to be fine. I had only owned the truck for about 6 months, and when I looked at the truck, everything was fine. So I took it in and was having the transmission serviced, and I got a phone call from the technician that was working on my truck, and he says, "Your transmission has got some issues going on with it." And so I went down, and he had found some metal particles in the oil pan that had disintegrated from the overdrive, which later found out was a common problem with these older Dodge trucks. The 47 RE transmissions they've had some failures with the overdrives. There are updated parts that you can install in the transmissions when you're rebuilding to correct some of these issues, which is what I ended up doing. But anyways, go back to the story. This had happened. So basically, what it meant is that he could put it all back together, put a fresh filter in it and fluid, and then I could just continue driving the truck. But I would be taking a risk with it, with the overdrive going out, and then possibly doing even more damage to the transmission. So I basically at that point was looking at doing a rebuild on my transmission, and a repair bill to rebuild the transmission on the truck that I have, depending on how exotic that you go with it, the repair bill starts at about $3,500 and it can go up to $5,500 from there. Having a professional do it and installing it. So I bring this up because at the time I had the financial resources to deal with this, but it had set me back on my trip and everything, and these are the kinds of things that can happen. So I really would highly recommend that you have your automatic transmissions inspected, and that would be dropping the oil pans and having a qualified person look it over and see if there's any metal in the pan, and the smell and everything, and take it to a professional transmission mechanic is what I would recommend, and someone that specializes in automatic transmissions, not just a general automotive shop. So those are the type of things that can come up, whether you're on the road or whatever, and you really need to be prepared to deal with some of these expenses. I think that as truck campers, we have it really good, because in the event that something major mechanical happens on the truck, a transmission going out, an engine being blown, we can disengage the camper from the truck, and we can live in our camper while our truck is being repaired. So we have a real advantage over a lot of other type of RVers, or we could just I don't know, sell or part the truck out, and there's a lot of different options that we have because we're still able to utilize our RV. So I just want to say that I think having a reserve, an emergency fund, bank account, $5,000 is a really smart move to have. Another option would be to have a credit card set aside in the event of a major emergency. I'm not a fan of using credit cards at all. I'm a believer in being debt free and paying cash for everything. But that would be one other alternative that you could is to use a credit card to just for to have something major like that. So to me on the pickup trucks, major things that that can go out. I mean, to me, it's the transmission, whether it be manual or automatic, or it's would be some major engine failure. So sucking a valve or losing a cylinder on a gas engine. Um, maybe if it's a diesel truck, the turbo going out. Some of these things can add up, but those anything that's engine or transmission related, those can really be quite costly. Um, it's definitely a good idea to to have things checked out. If you are going to be getting into this and buying a pickup truck, if you're buying a used one, definitely have it looked at. That's the one regret that I have when I bought my Dodge truck, is that I didn't take it into a professional mechanic and drop the oil pan on the automatic transmission. Because if I would have done that, then I probably would have found that metal in the pan at that point, and then I could have gone to the seller and negotiated the price and the deal more with the seller. So that's a little tip for you guys. Make sure that you spend the $180 to $200 to have the automatic transmission looked at. Manual transmissions, that's going to be more or less on the clutch side of things. You can tell if a clutch is worn out, but manual transmissions, you really can't unless you drain the fluids. The fluid, metal in the fluid will give you some kind of an indicator that something isn't right. But generally, I'm not a professional mechanic, but just going through the gears and stuff. But that's why you should take it to somebody, have them drive it, look at it, and get their professional opinion on what they think is the condition of the transmission. And the same goes for the engine. A really smart thing to do is to do like a leak down test on the cylinders on the engine. I'm talking about a gas engine. I'm not really sure how to test diesel engines, but gas engines, I know it's about doing like a leak down test, and you want to see how much compression is in those cylinders, and that's going to tell you how worn out the engine is. So that's just going to it's going to tell you the condition, and see if you've got something worn out or something that's fresh, or and so that can play a big role in your some of your major expenses down the road. So those are the few things that just a few of the major things that I really suggest for everybody. So yeah, maintenance and repairs. You definitely have to be prepared to deal with them, because they will happen. Thanks for watching, guys.